Hello there. I hope you're well. I am Hiramoni and welcome to Get Set Global. About today's guest, she's one of the most prominent artists of Assam and one of the state's most popular social figures. Starting as a child artist, she has an acting career of over 30 years. She has been felicitated several times for her excellence as an artist. She has also won the Best Actress Award by the Filmfare East for her role in the film Dwar. Apart from being an artist and an actor, she is also a producer, producing films and plays. In recent times, we have seen her as a political and a social activist. She has an authenticity to her, and ease and grace. And today, I'm looking forward to an authentic rendezvous with an intention to uplift our spirit in these times of despair. So please welcome very charming, very talented Zerifa Wahid. Hi, Zerifa. So
Hello,
lovely.
hello.
And so lovely to have you here. Thank you so
Thank
much for your
you.
time. And
Thank
yeah,
you. I'm also feeling so good to be here with you.
oh, lovely,
And
lovely.
that was a lovely video. I can see
It,
myself.
I know, and there is so much stuff that we wanted to add in, but then it's just a minute video, so whatever we could, we have. But
Thank
you look
you.
charming. You're absolutely
Thank you.
gorgeous.
Thank
um,
you. Thank you.
yeah, so no, like I said, thank you once again for your time today. Now it's a time of distress with so much happening and sentiments are overwhelming. People are anxious for not getting beds in a hospital. People's grief, loss. People struggling to keep a positive mindset. So all of this is real. So while this is all going on, how are you and your family members? Are you able to keep it all calm, stay calm? How are things?
I hope everyone is fine, and I really pray. And it's the Ramjan month that is going on,
Right.
so my mom is every day praying for everyone. She's saying that in my prayers. I always say, please, let this period be over as soon as possible. She prays to her Allah, and I feel yes, a lot of family members that we are losing last few days, and it is very demoralizing for my parents. Actually, my father lost his cousin, and then we lost a very good neighbor, who stays just opposite to our place. So there are so many people, even amongst friends, we have lost some very good friends, so among the social circles. So it is very demoralizing at time, but at the same time, it also makes us realize that um, um, we are too small. We are actually human being. We think that we are very powerful. We are, sometimes we think we are beyond science, and we
Mm,
are beyond nature. We are so powerful, actually, the most powerful creature that God has ever created. But it has made us realize, especially I feel people like us, we have realized that we are very very small, and we are very helpless if sometimes God is angry upon us, or if nature is angry upon us, actually.
Very well put together, I think. And I have felt that people have not experienced anything like this in their lifetime.
Yes,
The feeling of helplessness and hopelessness. And
yes,
I
yes,
have to say that, the Indian community of Indian origin who live here either in the UK or I'm sure in any part of the world, seeing people going through so much and grief and loss, I mean it's beyond heartbreaking, draining. I know that people are doing a lot, whichever way they can help. They're collaborating with charities to raise money for India. So while all of that is happening, I just want to say that in this all of us are together wherever we are. And I know that people, all of us, we know that praying for everyone for a better tomorrow. So that's that. But I want to ask you, Zerifa, that people are angry, people are frustrated, they're annoyed, and they're asking questions. They're asking questions whether these restrictions were uplifted too early, were they lifted off without scientific evidence, and before we're going ahead with these rallies and religious campaigns and ceremonies, did we actually consult with the doctors and the scientists whose views matter? Now, do you think it is fair for people to raise these questions? What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think it is all politically designed, because, when it comes to the state election, I'm talking about Assam, uh, particularly, because we see that whatever Assam had gone through, the way we last time we all fought together, and the situation was not, it was very grave, but it wasn't out of control. And so we could have, we should have actually been more careful this time, before the second wave came. And instead of that, we saw that there was the election thing coming up. The election could have been postponed, I feel. And it was like, then the religious uh, the festivals that we have, those were also were not restricted. Or you can say the bihu came, and we were like given the permission to organize bihu functions here, and which is not very I think that was a very wrong decision on the part of the administration to allow the BU functions. At least that could have been avoided, and I think even the elections could have been like little bit postponed. So everything was like, it was suddenly the restrictions were uplifted, and you could just be normal. But it is also not just the administration; it is the responsibility of the people as well. When the restrictions are not there, we need to be even more responsible. That is something we need to understand, because everyone is mature people, everyone has family, everyone are responsible citizens. So we should at least feel that the basic requirement, or the basic protocol of avoiding the situation could have been observed. Like, you could have maintained social distance. You should be wearing your mask, or sanitizing your hands, or you should be like caring for your family at home, if not for others in the society. But we saw people just coming out for religious function, people coming out for everything else. Even I'm talking about the political rallies and everything.
Right.
So everything was wrong. Everything was wrong, and so the second wave has come. And suddenly, after the swearing in ceremony of the oath taking of our honorable chief minister, I think, I'm sure they are going to give a lockdown. So it is all about situations or restrictions according to convenience. It is not scientific. So it is confusing the people. There is a whole lot of confusion in the society. Some are saying that there is no COVID. Otherwise, why will there be bihu functions? Why will there be rallies? Why will there be political rallies? Why will there be people going to the religious, like Kumbh Mela and all? So why will people go? There is no COVID, it seems, because the government is saying. Otherwise, why will the government allow people to go to the Kumbh Mela? So it is like that. So you can't say something about religious practices in India nowadays. If I say, or if you say, it will be a huge, sort of allegation. But at least we can talk about the political rallies. We can talk about the cultural functions. We should have been more careful. And even after the restrictions were no more there, when we experienced the first wave, I could see our place is a very busy area and nobody was wearing masks, nobody was maintaining social distancing, nothing was done. The life was so very
Mm.
normal. And there were like false certificates where people used to get
Wow.
false certificates for going to the airports, and they were very proud of that. People were very proud of breaking rules. They used to say, I have the police people, they help us, or the people who are there, they help us to just come out. It's just a matter of few uh, thousands of rupees or just few bucks that you give and you just come out. Or people will just get some false certificate, show it in the airport, and they are COVID negative. It's like that. So
Wow.
we are also irresponsible as well as the administration. I think we are equally responsible for this situation.
Right. Yeah, no, I think you have said what you had to say. And when you said that we thought COVID is gone, in a country of 1.4 billion population, it is very hard for, to see people following protocols if it doesn't come from the top in terms of, strict regulations. And when you see leaders actually interacting with people in lakhs without following protocols, it feels like we are going to be fine. And clearly, the bigger question then remains that how did we come to this decision that it's okay to mingle with lakhs and lakhs people unless scientists have given us go ahead? So that question still remains. Now,
Yeah, I
talking
feel
about.
responsible. I feel guilty
Mm,
about it because last few months I was rallying, I was doing the political rallies, I was sort of mingling with people. But
mm,
at the same time, I used to tell people, like, not to come too near, but just wear your mask because we need to, because you can hear my voice if I wear my mask. But after some time, people will not listen to you. They'll say, no,
mm,
just for one photograph, ma'am, please take your mask off. Or if the others are not wearing their mask. So if I say something that will create a
mm,
different kind of a impact, it might be adverse and it might hurt somebody's sentiment, you never know. But now I feel responsible as a citizen of a country or a state. I feel, I am responsible to a certain extent
mm.
for not observing the COVID protocol, actually.
Wow. I mean, thank you for saying that. People who need to say, I'm not sure if they are saying, but
Yeah.
talking about your political journey, I thought I must ask you this question. So, you made your foray into politics last year, I think in August, no, October, and you joined Rise or Doll. So,
Yes.
my first question is, what made you join politics? And my second part of the question is, um, and then you resigned Rise or Doll just ahead of the Assamese, the Assam Assembly election in March, and then you joined AJP. Now, report says that you quit Rise or Doll after being denied poll ticket. So what happened there?
I'm so glad that this question has been asked. On the day of joining Assam Ahom Jatiya Porikhod, I made it very clear to everyone that I was not denied ticket. I was, I was offered ticket for four constituencies. One was
Uh,
Bhawanipur, the other three were Dolgaon, Masbat, and Kolaigaon. So actually, what happened, you know, uh, I had my regional ideology. I wanted my Assam to be uh, distinct. I wanted Assam to be a very powerful and independent state within the country. I wanted my state to have its own identity, to preserve the culture of our state. We need to be very we need to be very responsible towards our own state first. We are all citizens of India, which we all know, and we love our country. At the same time, we should also love our own identity as being Assamese, or the bigger Assamese race. So I joined Rise or Doll, and I was really working for it. I was going to different places because our leader, uh, Okhil Gogoi, he was in the jail and he was in the hospital later. So I thought it is our responsibility to go to the people and, speak to them about what Rhizodol is all about. And we really worked hard. And then I was offered a ticket for Bhawanipur, first for another constituency called Horukhetri, and then uh, Okhil Gogoi really insisted that I should contest, and I said it's too early a time for me to contest, and I'm absolutely not experienced in politics. My only intention of joining politics was to go near to the people and spread the ideology of regionalism, what regionalism is all about. It is not just protecting your cultural identity, it is all about your economic growth, it is all about your social changes. We need to be progressive, the state need to be progressive. So there are a lot of things that I want to do for the state, and we could do only when a political party, when a regional political party is there. So there were two political parties. Since I joined Rise or Doll through Mr. Janu Borua, because we were into a cultural forum together. But later, that cultural forum also made a party called Hongjukto Ansolik Dol, and
Mm.
Hongjukto Ansolik Dol got assimilated into Raijor Dol. But when I was in Bhawanipur and I was working in Bhawanipur, and people of Bhawanipur really wanted me to contest from Bhawanipur, but I was slightly not very happy with the organizational level. If you see, Raijor Dol, other candidates couldn't do well except for our Okhil Gogoi. Other
Right.
we don't vote. We really don't hear the name of any other candidates who contested for Rise or All. But they did well. I will not say they didn't do well, but at the organizational level, we were very weak. The whole Krihok Mukti uh, people, the members were concentrating only with Mr. Okhil Gogoi, but
Right.
we had to, as if we need to contest, and we really need at the base, we need that organizational level where people will be working for us at the booth level, at the panchayat level. But there was nobody, so I was not sure about contesting election. And so when I just had a word with one of the key members that I'm slightly not uh, very confident about contesting, that another person was sent immediately to Bhawanipur, and he contested. But there were a few other things which are very internal, and I can't say this because I still respect Mr. Okhil Gogoi. I am very close. Raijodol is very close to my heart, but it is only that thing, the organizational level, which I could not adhere to, because the way they operated was something which was not conducive for the other people. And
Right.
I really wanted Okhil Gogoi to win, and he is such a big figure that he really won the election. But
Mm.
immediately I had to take a decision that if I really have to go near to the people, I need a proper organization, I need people to the create that journey for me. I have to be guided, I need a mentor. I want people who will tell me what to do, where to go. So that thing, I needed the guidance actually within
Mm.
the party. So I saw this in Assam Ahom Jatiyo Porikon. Had I not joined Rise or Doll before, I
Right.
would have joined Ahom Jatiyo Porikon. So Ahom Jatiyo Porikon was calling me from the very beginning, but I told them that, since I have already joined Rise or Doll, so now I
Mm.
cannot go to Ahom Jatiyo Porikon, but I will campaign for both the parties. If you see my earlier interviews, you will see that I have always said that I am going to do the campaignings for both the parties. And if we come into an alliance, and I'm sure both the parties are going to come together one day or the other, and that is what was done actually. But to practically work in the field, it was necessary for me to get the guidance, since I was very
Right.
new to politics. So there was see there were senior leaders in Ahom Jatiyo Porikhod, and I could see that kind of father figure, or maybe say he's very young to say this, but I could see that in Lurin Juti Gogoi, because
Yeah.
he was there every minute to guide his people how to go about it. So
Yeah.
being the president of the party, so he was there. I found it very comfortable because there were other senior leaders. They were the advisors like Bohonta Dekha sir and all. So they were always there to tell you what next to do. So it was very good that together we were together working in some kind of a coordination. So it was
Right.
easier for me to come to Ahom Jatiyo Porikhod and be the spokesperson or be there, one of the main person to do the campaigning. So
Sure.
that is the reason. It wasn't because of I was
No.
denied a ticket. I was given a ticket for four constituencies, and I said no.
Goodness.
Bhawanipur, yes, I worked, and Dolgaon, I went. I saw the people. They loved me a lot. They wanted me to contest from Dolgaon, but still I am not very confident because people came to my place and they said that they have been sent by Mr. Okhil Gogoi to my place and requesting me to contest from Dolgaon or the other two constituencies that I named actually.
Okay, no, thank you,
So it
Zerifa.
wasn't
That's very
because
clear.
of not
No,
getting a
no,
ticket or
no.
anything.
Yeah, obviously that was a news which was always which were everywhere. But thank you for
Yes.
clarifying that. So what's your plan? Do you plan to continue with your political journey?
Yes.
You do.
Yes,
Okay.
I have said to our president and the other senior members of the party, I said now with more conviction, I'm going to go ahead with
Mm,
my party, Ahom Jatiyo Porikhod, and as well as support our another regional party, which is like
sure.
Okhil Gogoi's party. And I'm sure we are going to work together. We are working for our state and with more conviction. I'm saying with a little bit of more experience, and
Mm,
I'm going to be working with more dedication. If I have given only 3 months of my life to politics, last 3 months of my life,
true.
I'll get more time. I'll get another five
Mm,
years to learn. I'll get more time to go nearer to the people. And I am into politics full time now. But at the same time, I should tell my the people who love me in cinema, I am not going to leave cinema till the time
perfect.
I
Great.
am
That's
alive,
awesome.
actually.
Great. Sano, good luck with all of that. Now, let's talk
Thank
about
you.
your core area of work, which is obviously acting. People know you for great performances in films like Rag and Bandhun, Dwar, also Kothanode. Looking forward to watching the new film, Ponga Kiriki, by Janu Gurua as well. So, so much of phenomenal work that you have been involved with. Now, my question is how to become Zerifa Wahid? As weird as it can sound, because there will always be one Zerifa Wahid, but I think what I'm really asking is if someone wants to follow your footsteps and aspire to be someone like you, what would you tell them to help and succeed?
First, I want to tell every aspiring actor or every child actor, first, it is very important to complete your education, at least the basic level of education, I should say. They say that, you don't need formal education nowadays, you don't need to have your degrees. Okay, it is fine not to have, higher degrees, but at least you should have your basic education so that you have that maturity, the mental maturity, the bond between your teacher, the bond between you and your parents, because this is going to help you in understanding the emotions of a human being.
Mm,
So I started off as a child actor, but it was a coincidence. Actually, I never wanted to become an actor in my life. I was just spotted in a uh, family function, and my uncle, Dulu Zamal uncle, said, "Do you want to act in a film?" I really didn't know what to say. I said, okay. And so they came to my place, and the director came, and the producers came, and they asked me to wear my favorite dress, and I wore my favorite frock, rather. So
Yeah.
And they said, okay, you look nice and you're going to be good in the character, so you are there in our film. I said, oh really? And then I looked at my parents, because first I have to take their permission, and they said, if you don't compromise with your studies, you can, you can really work in films, we have no problem. And so it was like, my journey was like suddenly it happened, it wasn't planned at all. But nowadays, children, they see so many competitive programs, they see dance programs, they see acting programs. So they have become very ambitious, and equally with them, parents have become very ambitious. But in the process, they kill the child's childhood. Actually,
Sure.
they make the child go through so much of what do you call that? uh, Auditions and other things. The children, they lose their innocence, they become so competitive. But what I feel, first, when they are put in school, they grow up like normal children, and they should have the responsibility to do well in their studies. I'm not saying you should put pressure on your child to fare well in your studies, or be, always secure some highest mark, but at least they should be responsible towards their education, they should be responsible towards their studies, they should love to go to their school, not just go to the sets. So it is like, when I used to go to the sets, I used to carry my books. I used to have a separate set, a table or a chair. When I'm staying somewhere else, my father used to accompany me, and I would request my producers and the directors that please give me one table and a chair and in
Yeah.
my room, so that I can study after I come back from my shoot. So this is how it started. And even I was doing, lead characters, I used to have the same condition. I used to say that I need a table and a chair so that I can put my books and everything. So every exam was like before, after some shooting. So what I want to say is that just grow up normally. Just grow up normally. If you get the chance to work in a film, or if you try some auditions and you get selected, first of all, you should know what you are. You should be able to know what you want in life, why you are born, why, what is your responsibility towards your parents, your society, towards your friends. When you know yourself more as a human being, you will be able to understand the character better. So when
Yeah.
I do all these characters, when I do Radhika in Rag, she is a lonely housewife, but I can understand her feelings, because even though I'm not married, I'm not lonely. I'm surrounded by people all the time. My parents are there. I'm still living with them. I'm still single and with my parents. So I really don't know what is actually is loneliness, but still I can
Mhm.
feel the pain of Radhika, the
Right.
lonely housewife in Rag. Whereas I'm not evil. I don't have envy. I don't have jealousy, and I am not evil like Senehi in Kothanoti, and she kills her
Alternative.
stepdaughter. And but I could feel how a wicked stepmother would feel when she sees
Mm.
her stepdaughter growing up and getting all the love from the father. So you need, even if you're not the character, to understand the character, it is important that you should first understand yourself as a human being. Then you can see a lot of shades in different people. So when I see some people, I observe them, and the Senehi in Kothanodi was a woman I observed.
Mm.
Radhika was a woman I observed. And I put that a bit of that person in the characters.
Mm.
The look, the way, Senehi in Kothanodi used to look at her stepdaughter. It was like it terrified everyone. It made children. They are like. I met a mother who said, if you don't eat properly, that auntie is going to come now. The Kothanodi auntie is coming. And so, and one doctor said, you're the Gabbar Singh of Assamese cinema. I
Well,
loved it when he said that.
I thought you were phenomenal in that film because that was a negative character as well. Nobody saw you
Yeah, it
anything
was
like
a,
you doing. It is
yes,
phenomenal.
and
So spooky.
I
Yeah.
also I also never did a negative character, because everyone takes me as a soft spoken, vulnerable person in when it comes to cinema. So you need to first know yourself. I always tell everyone, don't get over ambitious, don't plan too much. When you
Mm.
are in cinema, just do your work properly. In every film, just feel like a newcomer. Just feel that this is the first work in this profession you are doing and love it, feel the character. I was like a friend to Tagore in Bhoga Khiriki. The way Tagore was she was rather, I should say, the way she took her journey in her life from a very vulnerable person to the person she became at the end of the story. That entire journey I could feel. I was like her friend. I was like the friend of Tagore, whereas I was playing Tagore. Yet when I was in the set, I used to, when I was going through my dialogues, when I was going through the entire script, I could feel it is like it's she's a girl. She's going through a lot of pain. She's being very courageous. She emancipated herself. So it was like observing a friend. It was observing a very close friend. And that's how I related to the character. And when I got into the character, or when the character got inside me, I could be
Yeah.
Tagore.
Yeah.
Similarly, when it comes to Duar, the character of Manusi in Duar, she's a very balanced character. I've seen some of my friends balancing between work and her home, and the kind of struggle they are going through in their lives. So, but still being so graceful.
Mhm.
So, it is all human
Yeah.
beings that you observe, and you can observe people only when you can, you can. When you know yourself better,
Yeah.
and when you, every time you try to make yourself better as a human being. So I feel that, when you get into into the profession of acting, whether in stage or in cinema, and cinema is a more glamorous profession, please do not get carried away by the glitz and glamour first.
Mm.
It is, you have a responsibility towards the profession, towards the art, towards the craft. You need to respect your profession first. You need to respect every moment when you are in the set. You can't be frivolous. You can't, be like sort of bohemian, or you can't be like indisciplined, or you can't behave like a so-called star. That
Right.
is no more there. You're no nobody is a star.
Mm.
Everyone is a star in his or her profession, but everyone wants every person to excel uh, through their work. And
Right.
in every time in your profession, you need to or in you need to compete with yourself and not with your co-actor.
Mm.
It's a teamwork. I, I
Right.
i never compete with my co-actors. It is a teamwork. If I'm doing well, she or he has to do well. Everyone has to do well. I can't think that I am going to shine in this film and others are going to get overshadowed by me. That's a very wrong concept. Some
Mhm.
actors have, and some actors, that is a very medieval concept, I feel. And it's like, it's a very regressive way of thinking.
Right.
Actually, everyone
Well,
needs to work well. So this is what I want to tell everyone, that don't go
no.
by the glitz and glamour. You have a whole lot of responsibility the moment
Mhm.
you are selected for a role, actually.
That's wonderful. And this has been one of the intentions of getting people like you who have traveled that journey, and hearing from you about some of the how to's, what works, what doesn't work, but also, giving practical advice, like how you have said that it's not about glitz and glamour and, all the shiny stuff that doesn't serve well. And that, also you spoke about that studies how important knowing you is so important, understanding how you can reflect on life and use that for your acting profession. I This has been one of my intentions, that, just to hear from people like you, because I think it somehow, inspires or make people aware of possibilities who want to follow these footsteps. So thank you. Now here is the thing, some people may say that, okay, for someone like Zerifa, she comes from a good family, she's, well educated, she's smart, she's good looking, fair skinned, all of that, right? But not everyone is blessed with that. Do you think it's fair if somebody makes that comment?
No, I
What?
should say, people even said that, Zarifa, when I was a child actor, I should say that even in my school days, I was being teased because I am not tall. I was teased I was bullied by my friends. Every time
Yeah.
my friends would just stand in front of me and say, "Oh, you're not taller than me. See how tall I am." My all my very good friends would say this, and I have been going through that all throughout my life.
Wow.
till now you can say. So I
Right.
am not ashamed of being short or according to the standard. So I am happy the way I am because people love me and they say that you look like a doll. I would not have got that sort of title, and people used to call me baby doll because they used to find me so small. So I should
Right.
say that being fair skinned is not a blessing. When it's your entire personality. I have seen so many actors, who are not fair skinned. They are great actors, and you get this. And even when I was very small, and I was only 2 or 3 films old, and I was doing few. During that time, there used to be Doordarshan serials, and a journalist. Almost, he in fact he dismissed me as an actor, and he said, who is going to take the next place of Vidya Rao and Mridula Borua? Who is going to be the next Vidya Rao and Mridula Borua? And he mentioned a whole lot of names of actresses who came during that time, who did their debut during that time, and
Wow.
he wrote 2 or 3 lines about each and every actress, and he wrote such lovely lines about them. But for me, especially, he wrote a paragraph where he said, Zarifa does not look like an actor. She is not fit to be an actor. She is too small. She is too short to be an actor. I was hardly, 12 years old maybe, and still he was not hopeful that I'll become little taller. So this is how
Right.
things are actually. People
Right.
are there who criticize me, and
Right.
in one of the film, because this has never happened in any of my film till now. In one of my films, there was a platform which was made for me. There was a platform. You will not believe there was a platform. And if I tell you,
To
if there are two
the
to give me
platform to. Wow.
height. And my
Wow.
co-actor was Jotin Bora, and I don't think
Right.
Jotin Bora is as tall as Amitabh Bachchan. Where Rani
Mm.
Mukherjee has worked with Abhishek Bachchan in so many films,
Right.
there, I don't think she was put on a platform. But
Mm.
in this film, in this particular film, I was put on a platform. Okay, I understand it is for technical reasons. I was put on a platform. Later, never in any of my films, I was not put on a platform. So when you
Mm.
have a composite close shot, when two actors of very different heights stand together, so yes, one actor needs to be put on a platform or something like
Sure.
that, so that,
Okay.
because it's a very composite close. But
Right.
when it comes to actors with a wider angle, you don't need that.
You don't need
But
that.
when that particular platform was used, and when they would carry that platform from one, it was a wooden platform made for me especially. How privileged I am. And so they would rather say, put Zarifa's platform. They will use my name, and on the bus, that whatever that the where the equipments were carried on. So they
Right.
would say, a Zarifa's platform, put a Zarifa platform to upor rakha. So it was very
Mm.
it used to
Mm.
hurt me. It used to
Mm.
hurt me, and it really broke my confidence. I
Mm. It would.
and I have a tooth which is slightly shorter, and in that particular film, it was like, after that film, it was spreading like wildfire. The Zarifa does not have a tooth in between,
Right.
but
Okay.
I have,
Okay.
and this is now people say this is so beautiful. But after
Mm.
that film, people concentrated on my tooth, and
Mm.
the thing spread from that unit. The Zarifa is so short that you need to make a platform for her, a
Mm.
wooden platform. And it was very demoralizing for me as an actor,
Okay.
because I was very young. I was hardly 21, 22 years old. And after that, in any of my films, I could never ever see the platform, that wooden
Mm.
platform. I want to
Right.
keep that in my home and tell everyone, whoever or wherever I go, I want to show that platform to every actor, that whether you're tall, you're short, you're fair, you're dark complexion, nothing matters. It is only your personality, it is only your talent, it is your dedication towards your craft, and it is the responsibility towards your society. Whatever you
Right.
are doing, what kind of a message you are giving to the society, that is most important. So
Mm.
don't get demoralized. Look at me
Right.
now, and I'm so many films old without
Oh well.
using that wooden platform in my subsequent films.
Yes. No, I mean, thank you again for saying all of this. And I think sounds like nobody goes without getting criticism. But the fact
Yes.
remains that you obviously are, you're very pretty, and fair skin, I think, is people are obsessed with that. Now, would you not say that having good looks actually, helps? It's very useful in terms of getting
I
noticed when
just
people.
take 1 minute, just one.
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back. Actually, I went to get a glass of water, which I forgot.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, that's
Yes.
fine. And absolutely fine. So yeah, so I was really, wanting to know, do you not think that good looks actually can really open doors, especially when people don't know about the talent? They get to know about it later on. But having good looks is quite advantageous, don't you think?
Maybe I will not agree to it fully. Sometimes, yes, people who go by the conventional ideas,
Mm,
I'm talking about the filmmakers or the producers, they might think that it's nice to have a good look. But
mm,
when it comes to actual filmmakers who know meaningful cinema, who are
sure.
creating meaningful cinema, they will actually look at an actor through the character. I have
Okay.
to look like the character more
Right.
than myself. So I
Right.
have
Yeah.
to, if I'm
That's
playing something, I can't
mm,
look like myself. And when you see that, some nowadays when you see the very good series in Netflix or Amazon or Hotstar and all those platforms, you will see that there are more characters and they are all actors. It is not about looking
right.
great, having the best of physique or figure, or
Okay.
having a very fair skin. So I
Yeah.
nowadays I feel it is not a disadvantage to not look conventionally beautiful
Right.
according to the set standard.
Mm, mm,
Somewhere I in my in Bhoga Kiriki, you'll see I am not looking beautiful. In Bhoga
mm,
Kiriki, I'm looking very different. In Rag, I should say that yes, the DOP made me look so pretty in Bhoga Kiriki. I mean
mm,
in Rag, but I'm not looking pretty in Bhoga Kiriki. I'm looking
right.
distressed. I'm looking
Mm,
tensed. I have dark circles. My skin is not looking good because I wanted to be like the character. I didn't want to
mm,
look pretty in the film.
right. Right.
So
I
so
I
that
think
people can
that
relate to.
no, absolutely. I think also this is to do with all the transitions that's happening in the film
Transition, yes.
industry and the content. People want people's audiences taste changing, but I wanted to still, kind of get your viewpoint. And very quickly, I want to ask you this. What do you think about people's obsession with fair skin? I mean, do you have any views? Do you feel we are still obsessed, or you think it's all changing
It is
with time?
changing.
It is
Society
changing.
is going through a
Mm,
transition. Yes, still now some people like of our generation and their parents, they're still looking for brides who are fair skin. So it is still happening. Yeah,
mm,
ছোৱালীজনী
mm,
বগা হয় নে নহয়, they will ask. And that
mm.
is very sad, actually, I feel. But, people are changing, yes. And our next generation is being able to make us understand, it's not about looks, it is all about your
Sure.
brilliance, actually.
Yeah,
So,
no, good.
yeah, the younger lot are far more mature than us, it seems.
Yeah, at least there, that's a good news. And also,
Yeah.
like you said, I think in the fashion industry or film industry to an extent, they have been progressive in showing women of all color and making them
Yes,
look attractive,
yes.
desirable. It's
They look
more
exotic. They
they
look
do.
exotic.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's in the day to day life that we see, like you have just mentioned about, looking for
Yes.
matrimony is all about fair skin, So,
Yeah.
so I think that needs to change because that's one of the highest forms of discrimination as well, if you think
Yes.
of it.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
moving on, you have just mentioned that you're unmarried. So, are you single right now?
Absolutely single.
That's a good news for all the single men out there. Um,
Yes.
you have said before as well that that doesn't mean that you didn't have relationships in the past, but they didn't work out. And respect that, you said it openly. I think it's great. If you look back and you analyze, what do you think? Why relationships fail, and when they fail, how to come out of it with grace and confidence?
Yes, I'd say to every girl or every woman that, it's basically, I should say, I got cheated. I won't mind saying this, but I don't want to, sort of mention the name of the person or the persons. Every time it is like, it was because of an agenda or some designs that they had in their mind, they came into my life.
Mm-hmm.
And later I came to know that it wasn't a true feeling. It was more about making some arrangements with me, or some sort of convenience getting associated with an actor, or with a so-called star. So but when these people, they see that, they can't extract more from me, or sort of can't exploit more than what they have done till now, so they take their ways. And it's like, and it was basically these are all those sad stories, but you get to learn a lot about human behavior. I learned a lot about human behavior, and it is all about honesty. When you are committed to somebody, you should not be having any kind of agendas. You should not, like, even I'm telling all the women that you should not look for a partner. You should not look for a person because you want certain things in life. You want money, or you want a good life, you want to have a lot of materialistic comforts, or anything of that sort. Rather, you should be like, be able to accommodate somebody into your life. If you are a
Mm-hmm.
happy person, whatever you have achieved in your life, you might be a school teacher, you might be just a girl at home, not being a professional or any, but you have your own happiness, you have your world of happiness within you. And if you can bring somebody in that world, that is more beautiful. Similarly, if a person comes to me, he has to be happy within himself, and he should be able to accommodate me in his world of happiness, rather than thinking that if I get associated with Zarifa, these are the kind of privileges I get, perks and privileges, they think. And even sometimes, yes, they got too, they could achieve that, and they were quite comfortable in my company. But later it seemed like they were more ambitious, and and at the same time, since they were not true to me, so they were like
Mm-hmm.
sort of cheating upon me. So that thing, okay, that's a different chapter, but I would rather say it is more important to find your soulmate, the person with whom you can talk to, open your heart. You can talk about anything. Sometimes you can really talk anything stupid, whatever you want to talk about. You can talk about your school life, you can talk about your college days and your childhood, and play, cook together. You wait for the person after you, after the my dream of having an ideal life is that if you really have a partner, it should be like you should be waiting for that person, in
Yes.
after you people come back from work, and you're waiting, you're cooking something nice for the person, or the person cooking for you, or you're watching a movie together at home, or you, if this COVID situation is over, I'm sure it will be over very soon. Yeah, watching a movie together, or just going somewhere for a vacation, working together for a better future. And it's not all about money or the materialistic comforts. I'm talking about, having a little bit of a good life. And one should be a good wife, one should be a good husband, or if you're having a partner, both of you need to be like very true to each other. When you have a design, when you are not honest in your relationship, when you are there for some kind of a, uh, some kind of what do you call that, I'm not getting the word, something that you are like looking for, out of that
Yes.
person. And it's not about emotions, it is all about materialism or your ambitions. You have a particular person might have some ambitions being with me, or a woman might have some ambition having being with a man. So those relationships really don't work. So it is
Mm-hmm.
all about being very, very honest. And honesty is something that you need to define properly, and you need to know. You can't have reservations there. You are honest in this particular department, but you are not honest here, and you're trying to justify it, saying that,
Yeah.
no, no, I've been very honest. I love her a lot and I do everything for her. But here, this is all about your perspective. There can't be
Mm-hmm.
a perspective for being dishonest.
Mm-hmm.
It's honesty and dishonesty is everything about black and white. It's all black and white. It is, you
Mm-hmm.
can't justify being dishonest. Otherwise,
Correct.
the word itself would not have existed. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So till
Mm-hmm.
now, I'm still looking for that very honest person, and to
Yeah.
whom I can give all my love. I can cook for him.
Uh, wow. Yeah. I
I
mean,
will all
I
I will
I
always
was.
be smiling, and I will always be very energetic, and
Wow.
I'm a very energetic person from morning till the time I sleep. I Once I get up from my bed, I don't like to go to
Wow.
my bed at all. I keep on working the whole day. So
Wow.
I'm a very
Wow.
hardworking person too.
Awesome. Hey, listen, I just hope somebody's listening there who
Listen,
is
okay.
taking note of all of this, because my next question
Fingers crossed.
was going to be, like what you are looking for in a relationship and in a man, to say that that's the one for me. But I think you have put it all together beautifully. And
And his sense of humor and wit is something that I would really appreciate. And he can't be lazy. He has to really work out every day. I love people who really work out, who
I
exercise in the morning or in the evening. I get inspired. I have my nephews and they are growing up into like good looking young men now. And when three of us work out together, with my nephews, me and both my nephews, I feel so great. I'm
Mm,
so tiny, but both of them, like, they are like very tall, and and I am like sort of, you know telling them how to do it. So it's so nice. So if I ever have a life partner, I want him to be really, he should be a health freak, he should be a
yes.
good cook, he should
Mhm.
have a good sense of humor, and I really love witty people, and he should be like inviting friends over. We should be cooking together, we should be inviting and giving good dinners and lunches and brunches, and it should be a happy
Wow.
home. And he should be also a nature lover, so that we can just go to some hills and spend and put our mobile phones off and just go away somewhere. And uh, and it's like that. And
Listen.
he should do a lot of social work as well. He has to,
Mm,
he has to do
mm.
a lot of social work with me.
Awesome. So you're not asking for much, are you?
No,
No.
these are very small
These
things.
are small things,
Very
absolutely
small.
small things. And what is so beautiful about all of this, you haven't asked for anything materialistic. It's just a
Ah,
person,
yeah, I did.
So
I
that's a very, very good point. And when you were saying all of this, I was also thinking that with someone like you who is a social figure, popular, people know you, people either are in awe or they feel intimidated, right? So I almost feel that you need somebody, a person who feels so good about himself first, somebody who is so confident about himself first. Then I think he'll be able to see you as you. Because I think you have mentioned this, that you want somebody who feels very good about himself. And I think I couldn't agree more. And then all of these things that we have said will just come automatically because.
yes, and I should be awestruck, when I see him, I should be awestruck. I should be inspired. I should be able to
Mm,
respect him. And every day of my life, it should be like a beautiful and pleasant surprise for me when I see something nice in the person. And my respect for that person should keep on growing.
yes, yeah.
And I'm like that. I like to be formal sometimes. I don't like to be too open. I like the shyness in a woman actually. I can't
Lovely.
be just
Lovely.
so I want to be like a newly wedded bride. It's throughout my life. If ever I get married,
Awesome.
and if I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
get that person, then it's
No,
my bad luck.
no, lots and lots of luck with that. I'm sure it's all happening for you in the coming times. There is a question from Roy Sorkar, and he has asked this question, that, Assam film industry, you have been a part of this for a long time, of course. You have seen the transitions and phases of change and all of that. Um, so I think I'm going to frame it slightly differently, but it's the same question. He's asking, what's the future of Assamese cinema? Why there aren't many cinema halls in Assam? But I think I would also add that what are the barriers, hurdles of Assamese films today?
Yes, yes, we have been going through this since a long time now. We don't have a proper film policy, first of all, and a proper film policy is made by the government to secure or the film industry, or to make the film into an industry, actually the entire uh, the film fraternity into an industry, because a lot of people are getting their employment in different departments of filmmaking. And films to survive and to make the qualities of films better, we need more budget for films. Now, still, Assamese films are not made in very big budgets. You know, we have a very limited budgets for making films. For that, we need, if we say if we put a lot of money in our films, but we don't have enough or good number of cinema halls, then it is difficult for us to, get back the money which has been put in, or make a profit out of the money that we have put in.
Right.
So the government has not been doing much towards constructing new cinema halls, or sort of renovating the existing halls which are not in very good conditions. That is the reason why most of the people don't like to go to cinema halls in smaller towns, and in rural areas. We will see that the cinema halls are in a very bad state, and people don't like to go and watch cinema in those cinema halls. Rather, they see the films in the TV. And because they see those old films of ours, like which are like 4 5 years old, and they feel these are the new films that they are watching,
Wow.
and they are quite happy with that. And it is the ignorance, actually, on the part of the part of the audience, because they think that they are watching films in the television, the regional television channels that they see.
Mhm.
So it is because of not having a proper film policy. It is not because of having a sufficient number of cinema halls. And we can also improve the quality of cinema only when we stop imitating. Because for getting the quick money, people think that it is very easy to make some films which are more on the line of the so-called commercial cinema of Bollywood, or some South Indian movies. But we have such beautiful literatures here which we can rely upon. We can make There are so many good novels, there are so many good literatures here in Assam, made which are being of Assamese authors, well known authors. We can make films out of those of those literatures on those literatures. We see that makers like Janu Boro and others, they are only making films which are doing so good. Even recent time, we have a whole lot of new filmmakers, from Rima Das to Bhaskar Hajorika. From like, if I take the names, we'll see that there are almost 20 to 25 new filmmakers who have come, and they
Mhm.
are making such beautiful films last 3 4 years. And Assamese cinema is doing great abroad. Assamese cinema, people wait for Assamese cinema in the festivals, and they said, and even some films in other languages like Missing and Boros, they also wait for those films from Assam, because people are liking, have started, not just not as they are, it's not a recent trend. People started liking Assamese cinema since the time Janu Borwa made films,
Yeah.
since the time late Biddu Chakraborty made Rag Birag and all these films. So it is about the international audience I'm talking about. They are much more aware than the audience here. They are very loyal. The Assamese audience is very loyal. They love Assamese films. They want to see Assamese films, but they are not getting the place to watch the cinema of their own language. That is the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
So,
That's
and
such a
then
sad.
we have, yes, that's a very sad
Mm,
state
mm,
of affairs, actually. And more than that, there are not too many financiers in for financing Assamese films, because, and here the financiers are also called producers, because when somebody comes with amount of money to make, or a budget to make a film, they would like to call themselves producers. Okay, we have no problem with that, but they are rather insecure about investing their amount,
Right.
because they feel that the ratio of the share between the cinema hall owners, the distributors, and the producers or the financiers is still not very clear.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because of the lack of that film policy. So it
Right.
is all about that. So that is the reason why we don't have too many producers producing Assamese cinema. We don't have too many people who are making cinema halls, because they know that if they make a cinema hall, and if people don't come to the cinema halls, then what will happen? How will they survive? How will they sort of give salary to their employees? So
Yeah.
these are the basic problems. So now it is the responsibility of the government to first frame a very nice and conducive film policy, where everything will be very clear about how this entire cinema can be converted into an industry. So
Mm-hmm.
till now, we have started cinema in 1935. Assamese cinema started in 1935, and Assamese cinema was so popular worldwide. But in recent times, from 2007 to 2012 or 13, till during this period, we see the cinema was going down.
True.
Assamese cinema was disappearing
Yeah.
because there were a lot of other factors, like there were bomb blasts in cinema halls. So
Mm-hmm.
cinema halls closed down. Then came the multiplexes. Then came the big banners of Bollywood. They would not let Assamese cinema to be there in cinema halls,
True.
because they want all the theaters, when they release a film, and their films would be like 20 crores, 30 crores, 40 crores. And in comparison to those films, our films were like very small budget films,
Mm-hmm.
but with good quality. Of course, some films were with very good quality and with a lot of entertainment values. And there were films which were meaningful cinema. At the same time, they also had entertainment. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they were not just giving messages to the society. They were not slow. They were not dark. They were like the so-called art films, which people presume that
Yeah.
Assamese cinema are like slow, they
Mm-hmm.
are dark. But no, the wave of cinema became so different. But unfortunately, from 2008 onwards, when cinema in like 2007 to 2013 or 12, when films, the entire Assamese cinema graph was going down, then a new wave of filmmakers came in, and
Mm-hmm.
they started making such films which were so entertaining. They were like slices of life, and people could relate to, people could smile, laugh, get entertained. And those films all got selected in the international film festivals. And
Mm-hmm.
still, we don't get to see those films in our cinema halls, because we don't have substantial amount of cinema halls in the state. We need
Yeah.
that, and it's so
We did.
important. And we need cinema halls, otherwise there is no other solution. And
I
that
couldn't
and
agree
it is
more.
the initiative of the government. It has
Mm.
to, and only then we can say. And when people talk about the quality of cinema as well, some people have this opinion that Assamese cinema has not reached that level of quality. But if you see the films which have gone to the international film festivals, they have gone for a reason. They are
Mhm.
not there just like that. They are not being called without seeing the quality. The festivals have seen the quality of those movies, and so we are being invited. Kothanodi went all over.
Yes.
Rag Birag or Bandhun or all other films went abroad, and they were like creating waves. And we have Rima Das with her Village Rock Stars. Everyone is doing so well. So but only thing that we need is are the cinema halls. Only then we can increase the budget of our films,
Mm.
and then improve the quality
Yeah.
at the same
Well,
time.
yeah, I think you have really, I think, nailed down a lot of things. Of course, it's not being a proper industry with proper policy, but also
Yes,
small budget, because then you can't have much money for promotions. It's such a sad
yes,
thing that people don't even get to know that there is a good film out there, SMS film to watch. And also,
yes,
I think the perception bit, because a lot of the movies are small budget, so it feels like SMS films are not for entertainment, But the same
Yes.
people, when they watch it, they realize, no, these are great films. So there is a perception issue
Yes.
as well. So
Yes.
there's lots to
And it is
fix.
also on the it's the responsibility of some of the filmmakers as well, who
Mm-hmm.
are not making good films. They are
Right.
trying to imitate the Bollywood films, the so-called commercial cinema, which they call, and they are making such bad versions. They
Mm-hmm.
are simply replicating those cinemas, and they are not giving that amount of quality also, because in the Hindi film industry also, those films are not considered to be good films. And then some of our people, what they think it is like, if we do those kind of films with so-called item numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and fight sequences, and where the hero will, like, if you make a cheap copy of a dabang, how will you feel?
Mm.
That is not us. In some films
Oh.
we see the dhabas, and dhaba is like, okay, we have adapted to the word dhaba in the highways. But when you see some sort of a arrangement like that in a film, you see a song sequence where the guys are there and a woman is dancing with the liquor bottle, and it is not the Assamese society, and when they are depicting a Muslim in or a person who belongs to this to belongs to Islam, and that person has to put kajal and wear a scarf and put a cap all the time. It is not, this is not our society actually, but it is just to create a negative character. He has to look horrible, and he has to put that big kajal, or these are the caricaturist thing that they are doing, which is not right. And I think this is giving a wrong impression, and to those people who are not very aware of, now not very aware of cinema as well. There are some Assamese people who are not aware of Assamese cinema itself,
Right.
because they feel it is great not to know about Assamese cinema. It is great to know about cinema which are releasing in Hollywood, or they are so well aware of everything which is going on in Netflix, Game of Thrones, or any other thing, or some Hindi cinema, but they are so proud of not knowing some about their own cinema. They would rather say, "Oh, I met those kind of people." Also, they would rather ask me, why can't we have cinema like the Hindi cinemas or the English movies? I had to explain it to them. Ma'am, see, there are some very good films. I can name them. If you have watched them, I'm sure you have liked them. Then I named 12 to 13 movies which were recently released, and she didn't watch any of those films. So these are some section of the society.
Yeah.
They represent one section of the society who are cinema illiterate again.
Mm-hmm.
So they only go by the trend. If people are watching Game of Thrones, they also have to watch Game of Thrones, because otherwise they will not have something to discuss in the social circuit. What will
So
they
you're
discuss? They have to just
right. You're
so
almost talking about being trendy, doing things
yes, yes.
like
It's all about
that.
being little
Yeah.
bit of cinema literate as well. You need to know
Right.
about your own literature, your culture, your drama, your cinema, everything. You need to know, because you have to, if you say you're an Assamese or you belong to Assam, then it is not nice to not know your language. It is not nice to not correctly speak your language. It is not nice to not know your cinema or the literatures.
Absolutely.
It is not good anymore. It's not
No.
good.
Well, I think
Earlier,
you have said it politely, nice, but I think it's just can't be because that's your first
terrible.
identity, isn't it? I mean,
Yes,
wherever you are going, the first identity is always SMS. What have you brought
yes,
from your place? So yeah, it probably is a must. But because of
yes.
time, I have to really end soon.
Oh, really?
I
How
know,
long did
right?
we talk?
More than an hour we have spoken, but
Really?
I know, and I have lots of questions to ask, which I couldn't because of time. But what I would like to do, I would like to end with my final five, which are like quick questions, quick answers, and I don't have a hamper to give you, but I'll have word of
Okay.
appreciation.
Thank you
So
and love.
absolutely. So my first question is, now you have already said you're into fitness and all of that. So how does your diet look like to keep healthy
It's
lifestyle?
mom's recipe, It's all about masor jhul and tenga mas and
Mm,
vegetables, lot of vegetables. Mostly we have vegetarian food at home. So
mm,
and yes, nowadays mom is giving me milk with halodi,
right.
turmeric.
Mhm,
So milk with turmeric. So I have that and detoxifying drink like put cucumber and lemon and mint leaf and a bit of ginger. So
mhm.
that is what I drink, and it's mostly very organic food. And do I love pizzas, but I'm not getting that anymore.
Okay, but what you're
and I
saying
and
is,
I work out. I work out because last 3 months I didn't work out, so I'm like I have put on almost 6 to 7 kgs what I
okay,
used to be. So
it will go
so I'm
down.
working out.
Yeah, but it's also about health. You feel better when you exercise.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. My next question is, if you could marry just anybody or partner with just anybody, who would you choose?
Oh my God. I love a singer called Sami Yusuf. And
Uh-huh.
I love his songs. These are more spiritual songs, but his personality, the way he talks, I'm in love with him. But unfortunately, he is married.
Okay, give us the name of an unmarried man then.
Oh my
Don't
God.
say,
Oh my
don't say
God. I'm
Salman
not giving.
Khan.
No, no. I love his Bajrangi Bhaijan, but
Right? No, but
uh, I know it's so difficult to say. Now, no names are coming to my mind. Oh my
oh,
God.
come on.
Yeah,
Okay.
really. I forgot the name of the actor. Oh God, I forgot the name of the actor. He's such a well-known actor. But no, I won't because I forgot his name. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I have to think
So
next time, please. It maybe you can take my interview again. We can have
I
a
think so.
conversation on this.
I think so. It will be all about that then. But my third question is, so what you wish you knew when you were 21?
I wish, yeah, mm, I wish I knew. I want to be more seriously into acting. I wish I were more politically aware because in college I just went for studies and I did my responsibility as a very obedient child and a student, but I should have been more politically aware. I should have been more aware that yes, cinema or acting is my life, and maybe I could have done much better.
Well,
I
more
feel that
clarity.
way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, and my next question is, what would be your top tips, beauty tips to look presentable all the time? What would be those three
The time.
tips?
Please do not put too much of makeup. It doesn't look nice. And especially to the brides, I want to tell because earlier the brides used to look so nice and clean, a little bit of a blush on, and they will really blush. Nowadays, you really don't see them blushing because there's a whole layer of makeup on their face and a lot of eyeshadows and very tight lip they are because they put a lot of matte lipsticks. So I think makeup is something which I would rather tell everyone, please, except for being in front of the camera, or nowadays even when we are doing films, we are not allowed to put makeup.
Okay.
The camera lenses are so sensitive that they see every line that you have. So every line is beautiful, and
Mm,
just oil your hair properly, and
mm,
put a lot of good moisturizer because just buy invest in your moisturizer. Put good moisturizer in your skin on your skin, and if you like kajal, just put a bit of kajal, and oil your hair properly, drink a lot of water. That will make you look beautiful. And especially when you do a bit of a workout, whether it is yoga or any kind of free hand exercise, you doesn't matter if you don't go to the gym. I'm not saying you have to go to the gym. So you look beautiful because your skin glows automatically. Because when
mm.
I don't work out, I can see my skin not glowing. But if you see now, it's not too much of makeup that I
Looks
have put.
perfect. Yeah.
uh, but because I work out every day, since now it is a lockdown time and we need to be really, really positive, so it it's your workouts, your exercises that will help you. And be positive, keep smiling, and read a good book, and watch something nice. Could watch
Awesome.
anything which is nice, that will give you some sort of thoughts to, uh,
Mhm.
you know later, ponder
Mhm.
upon.
Right.
So this is how it is actually. And try to, yes, every day just try to make one person smile. Or just
Mhm.
one person, and it is so infectious. I do that at home, when I just go to my mom, I smile at her, and I'll give her a lot of kisses, to the extent that she gets irritated at times. So that is how, it keeps on rolling, from one
Right.
person to the other.
Awesome.
So
Awesome. And my last question would be, what is one act of kindness that melts your heart?
somebody, when people love you unconditionally, when I see some old people on the stage, or in the middle of the audience, I myself go to them. They are like small babies, I go to them. I a person I met during my political journey. There was a person, I met him, I saw him on the stage, and I was looking at him throughout. And I just wanted to go to him and ask him, are you comfortable, do you want water? And it was like it was a huge political function. So, and he said, no, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then later I said, can I click a photo with you? He said, why not? And he was so cute, and he hugged me, and now we are in touch. He writes letters to me.
Oh,
He
okay.
writes letters, long, long letters I have. And this is what, actually, he's 96 years old.
Wow.
And 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 he writes how he wants to see Assam to be, how our political leaders should be, what should be our political ideology as a society, how we should conduct. These are the things he writes to me, and
Wow.
he wants me to, read those, tell the people, because it is from the eyes of a 96 years old person. When
That's
you
inspiring.
and Yeah, and during any political function or cultural function, when I see old people sitting in the middle of the audience, I just go to them, I take their blessings, and when they love you unconditionally, I say, do you know me? Say, yes, yes, we know you, and we know your name. I felt like as if they are just sitting because it's just a function and they don't know who we are. I just go and say, my name is this, and did you see my films ever? They say, yes, yes, we have seen it in the television. And
Wow.
it melts my heart. There's such
Mm,
unconditional love. And this
mm.
is, I feel it's a blessing to get those
Absolutely.
kind of, love and blessings, from others.
Absolutely.
It melts my
Absolutely.
heart. I
Oh,
really want to do something for old people,
mm,
and for children, actually.
wow. Fantastic. Hey, Zerifa, thank you so much for all your time. We'll have to end here, of course, because of time, like I said. But I had the best time talking to you. And
Same here. I feel so good. I feel
it's,
so good, I
yeah,
was
I mean,
rather nervous. I know I've not been, like, I really didn't know what to talk, because everywhere things are so confusing. We are going through pain, we are going through a lot of confusion, and confusion in every spheres and every aspects of life, actually. So I really didn't know. I thought, and nowadays I've become very silent. I really don't talk much. I want to observe. I want to be a silent spectator for some time, and then again, start my journey. Sometimes I feel like that, but today I spoke so much.
Beautiful stuff. Absolutely beautiful stuff. I have to say that you come across as so real. And yes, you're ambitious, but the heart is at the right place. So, yeah,
Thank you, thank you,
lots of luck with everything that you do. Best wishes and stay
thank you.
safe, be well, and yeah, goodbye for now.
And I wish the same for you, and I wish and pray for you and for your loved ones. Thank
Lovely.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Zerifa. Thank you. I would also like to thank everybody who is watching. I
Yeah.
really, yeah, and also
Yes,
I hope.
we all need your love and blessings, actually, in this very tough time. We all need your love and blessings. And I wish and pray for everyone who is watching us, and for everyone who is
For
going
everyone.
through tough times. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, thank you for saying that, Zerifa, to everybody as well, because I think that's what we need now, knowing that we are all in this together. And I think we can just pray for each other. So, yeah, it's coming from Zerifa as well. So, thank you. And thank you to everybody. And stay safe,
Thank
be
you.
well. And yeah,
You
goodbye.
be well.
All
Goodbye.
right. Bye.